Hello there, my wallpapering friends and those who want to join us. Welcome to AS Create. I am Ben, and today I'm going to show you step by step how to hang patterned wallpaper with a straight match with the help of Felix and Louisa. The first thing we're going to do is prepare the wall where we want to hang the wallpaper. We will measure everything and then cut the first lengths of wallpaper to size. After that, we will mix the wallpaper paste and apply it to the wall, and then we can start pasting the wallpaper. Right, so let's get going with the preparations. First, we lay out painter's fleece to protect the floor and avoid paste stains. Then we remove the covers of the power outlets and light switches. Please just make sure that you switch off the circuit breaker beforehand. Wallpapering is actually very simple. The most important thing is to make sure your wall is properly prepared. It must be clean, smooth, painted a neutral colour and absorbent. To properly prepare the wall, we use fine sandpaper to get rid of any bumps on the surface. If you find any holes, fill them with putty. It's best to use a bright light source, which will show up any unevenness better. There are some links to more information on preparing your surface below this video. Depending on the surface, you may need to prime the wall with a white wallpaper primer. You will definitely need to do this in a new building. It will ensure that the wall is perfectly absorbent and helps the paste adhere better. It is best to apply the wallpaper base to your wall over a large area with your lambskin roller. This is very quick and easy. While the wallpaper surface is drying, you can measure the wall. Our wall is about 3 meters high. We add another 5 centimeters at the top and at the bottom. This gives us a bit of leeway to compensate for any deviations in the height of the wall and for precision in the ceiling and floor area. So that gives us 3.10 meters. We'll now show you how to determine the exact requirements for your room. To calculate how many rolls you need, if the roll is a standard size of 53 centimeters by 10.05 meters, you do the following. Measure the height of your wall and add 5 centimeters. Then measure the length of your wall. Now multiply the height and the length of the wall. Divide the result by 5 and that's it. You have worked out how many rolls you need. Tip: add at least 1 extra roll to keep for renovations or repairs later. Before we cut our first lengths, it is important to know what pattern offset our wallpaper has. This offset is shown in the inlay of the wallpaper. Our wallpaper has a straight match. But what exactly is offset? Offset means the distance by which a length of wallpaper has to be moved so that the pattern of the individual lengths creates a seamless overall picture. As I said, today we are working with a straight match. With this type of wallpaper, you always cut in the same place in the design. All the lengths look identical. Prominent pattern repetitions are therefore always at the same height. Look at the wallpaper package insert and you will find 2 numbers, 64 and 0. 64 refers to the pattern repeat, in other words the area of the lengths of wallpaper where the entire pattern is reproduced. The 0 is your offset. This means that in this case you have a straight offset. There is a link below this video that explains the terms pattern repeat and offset. Now we start with our lengths of wallpaper. Let's get the craft knife, the cutting ruler and the folding ruler ready and cut the first lengths on a trestle table. If you don't have one yourself, ask a friend for theirs. Our pattern repeat is 64 centimeters long. We divide the length of 3.10 meters, which is what we measured for our wall, by our pattern repeat. This gives us 4.84 meters. When we round this up, we have 5 pattern repeats per length. The number of pattern repeats times the length of the pattern repeat tells us how long a length is, including the overrun. In other words, 64 centimeters times 5 and we get to a length of 3.20 meters, including the overrun. That means the lengths can be cut to 3.20 meters. If you now place them next to each other to check, you get a harmonious pattern with no breaks. By looking at the prominent features of the pattern, you can spot the pattern repeat and check it again with the naked eye. Have the first lengths been cut? Great, then let's continue. Before we start pasting, we ensure that the first length will be straight by lightly drawing a dashed pilot line for our wallpaper. Our wallpaper is 53 centimeters wide. In order to ensure that our wallpaper lengths remain straight, we move the first length about 5 centimeters to the left and let it extend past the corner. We subtract the 5 centimeters from our 53 centimeters and mark this on the wall where we are going to be putting the wallpaper, so that our pilot line is at 48 centimeters. This is helpful because even if a wall appears to be straight, this is not always the case. And furthermore, this small overrun also means you avoid white gaps at the joins of the walls. You simply cut off the overrun on the side walls later. Now it's time to start pasting. Make sure that the paste you have is correct for your wall covering, or simply use an all-purpose AS universal cleister. This can be used on any wall. The paste must never have any lumps in it when you apply it, to avoid causing unevenness on the wall. Use a round bucket for mixing. Make sure you start swirling the water before slowly adding the paste powder. Follow the exact specifications of the manufacturer. Give it another good stir before applying it to the wall. Use a large paint roller for large areas. For the corners, you can use a small lambskin roller or a brush. Don't use too much paste at a time. At most, apply enough for 1.5 lengths, otherwise it will dry out too quickly. Place the first length of wallpaper exactly next to your pilot line. It will be cut off on the left because you should avoid wallpapering over the wall joint. We also leave a small overrun at the ceiling. This will be removed with the craft knife later. Align the wallpaper and press it firmly against the wall. Use a foam wallpaper roller for this. Now we take a wallpaper trowel and attach the corners and edges. The wallpaper trowel is also used to help us cut the wallpaper. Press down and cut, but see for yourself. Tip: always use new, sharp blades when cutting off the wallpaper. Simply break off the blade at the predetermined breaking point. Now we place the next lengths at the same height so that the pattern matches exactly on the wallpapers. Then align these two and apply it with the wallpaper roller. If any paste escapes at the seam or skirting boards, just dab it away lightly with a clean sponge or damp cloth before it dries. Once all the lengths have been wallpapered, we take a look at the whole wall. Now we put back the covers of the power outlets and then we clear up. We put away the painter's fleece and the trestle table, and our new wallpaper is done. There you have it, dear wallpaper friends. That's it for today from our studio at AS Create. Below this video there are links to step-by-step wallpapering instructions, including a list of tools. Our channel also has more videos about wall design, decoration and trends. Do you have a free wall? Then take a look at our video about photo wallpaper. Just subscribe and get working on your walls.